Twister! Remember Twister? I don't even think we could play Twister now. People would probably be suing each other. Or you'd get pregnant, I don't know. The 1990s brought a wave of cultural pride. For Black kids, it was an era where our voices were heard and our influence was undeniable. From music and TV to fashion and toys, the energy of this generation transformed the way that the world viewed youth culture. Welcome to Black in the 90s. I'm your host, Ciera Foster, actress, activist, educator, and author of The Super Marvelous World of Black Inventors, a children's book that reimagines real-life Black inventors as superheroes. I made history as the first Black woman to lead a comic book franchise on screen, as Livewire and Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe. And I've portrayed the icon, Queen Latifah, in the movie A Hip Hop Story. I'm here to help you relive the greatest era of all time, the 90s. And today, we explored the decade through the eyes of Black youth. What was it like being a Black kid in the 90s? The crack era and mass incarceration reshaped our communities. And too often, Black kids weren't seen as kids at all. They were treated like adults, judged like adults, and talked about as threats.
They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy.
We're talking about a group of kids who are growing up essentially fatherless, godless, and jobless.
We forget sometimes, and the world forgets, that Black kids are still just kids. So many of our stories are framed by struggle. But the 90s gave us something different. Black youth became a cultural force, on TV and music, in style and language and culture. We weren't just surviving, we were shining. Yes, there were struggles, but for many of us, our childhood in the 90s was a simpler, innocent, and magical time that we wish we could go back to now. So let's start where so much magic happened, on our screens. The early 90s marked a pivotal shift in Black representation on television, especially for Black youth. With The Cosby Show ending in 1992, the curtain closed on a show that had, throughout the 80s, offered a polished and middle-class portrayal of Black family life.
Theo, it's 5 degrees out there.
I've got 2 pairs of socks on.
Well, you are putting on gloves and a hat.
Mom, this is freeze football. If you wear a lot of stuff, you're not a real man.
So how's a real man gonna feel when his mother shows up on the field carrying his gloves and a hat?
America had spent nearly a decade watching the Huxtable kids grow up in a carefully curated world, respectable, aspirational, and strategically palatable to a mainstream audience. But as the new decade dawned, so did the broader cultural appetite for more diverse, multidimensional portrayals of Black life.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spend most of my days. When a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight and my mom got scared and said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel-Air."
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was a sharp departure from The Cosby Show. It brought hip-hop street smarts and cultural contrast into America's living room. Instead of presenting a polished, assimilated Black family, it explored the tension between working class and upper class Black identities through Will's fish out of water journey.
Will, there are other people at this table.
Oh, you're right. Any requests?
It was stylish, funny, and deeply rooted in 90s youth culture, showing that Black teens could be complex, rebellious, authentic, and most importantly, vulnerable.
I had 14 great birthdays without him. He never even sent me a damn card. To hell with him!
Will.
Nah, you know what, Uncle Phil? I'm gonna get through college without him. I'm gonna get a great job without him. I'm gonna marry me a beautiful honey, and I'm gonna have me a whole bunch of kids. I'm gonna be a better father than he ever was. And I sure as hell don't need him for that, because ain't a damn thing he could ever teach me about how to love my kids. How come he don't want me, man?
With the proven success of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the door was open for other Black urban shows to thrive on TV. The climate was right for a new generation of shows, ones that showcased not just Black excellence, but Black experience in all its variety.
Oh, here it goes.
Kenan and Kel were a whole era. Two Black teen boys front and center on one of the biggest kids networks in the world. Goofy, fun, smart, creative, and fully themselves. It wasn't about trauma or struggle. It was about jokes, friendship, and getting into just the right amount of trouble, whether it was Kenan scheming or Kel chasing orange soda.
Kel loves orange soda.
We saw a version of Black boyhood that was joyful, silly, and free. That kind of visibility mattered. But Kenan and Kel weren't alone. The 90s gave us the little wave of Black-led shows on Nickelodeon. We had My Brother and Me, a classic about two brothers growing up in Charlotte with big laughs and even bigger heart.
Didi, how come you're not in here helping us?
Alfie, you know Mama says Didi's too young for kitchen chores. He might break something.
Man, I sure wish I was the baby.
Believe me, you are.
We had Cousin Skeeter, yes, the one with the puppet, mixing wild humor with real-life lessons and showing that Black families could be magical and a little messy.
Hey, I bet you didn't know Bobby could throw down.
Really? Bobby, you can cook?
Well, Bobby can burn. Bobby makes Wolfgang Puck look like Donald Duck.
Nick in the 90s was sprinkling in representation all over their lineup. We had Susie Carmichael from Rugrats, smart, kind, and always ready to shut Angelica down. We had Gerald from Hey Arnold, the smooth narrator of the block, rocking that high top fade and giving main character energy every episode. And let's not forget about the other Skeeter from Doug. Yeah, he was blue, but according to the show's creator, Skeeter was absolutely meant to be a Black character. From his beatboxing to his swaggy walk, we knew what was up. Can't forget about Gullah Gullah Island, a joyful, magical Black family on TV, teaching us to love ourselves and love our culture. And of course, we had All That. TLC's All That theme song was a whole vibe. Fun, bouncy, and instantly iconic. The moment those drums hit, you knew it was time to grab a snack and post up on the couch. It was a signal that the weekend had officially started. For many Black kids in the 90s, Nickelodeon felt like home. But Nickelodeon wasn't the only place giving us representation. Black youth were showing up strong across the dial. From Saturday morning sitcoms to primetime hits, we had options. And we were finally seeing ourselves in full color.
You know him as big shot movie star Damon Wayans, but in 2 weeks, learn how he grew up on the streets of Harlem.
If you can't pick your brother, at least you can pick your bros.
And you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your brother's nose.
From the creative mind of Damon Wayans comes the biggest new show of the year, Waynehead, coming in 2 weeks to Kids WB.
If you were a Black kid in the 90s, chances are your TV was locked in on the WB. At the same time, Black audiences were tuned into UPN, where Moisha brought the culture.
Move to the, E to the, move to the, E to the.
Starring Brandy Norwood at the height of her popularity, Moisha gave us a smart, stylish Black girl from Crenshaw, navigating school, family, love, and identity.
Hello. Excuse me, Huxtables. Why didn't somebody wake me up?
From her braids to her journal entries to the way she spoke her mind, Moesha gave Black girls a lead character who felt real, layered, and unapologetically herself. It was aspirational. We also had Smart Guy, Sister Sister, and The Parenthood, to name a few. Whole families that look like ours. Black kids being brilliant, goofy, complicated, and loved.
The thing that I loved about those shows so much was seeing myself, but also getting to see the human experience from a Black perspective that was normal. Like seeing what Moisha would go through as a young teenage girl with a traditional nuclear family. I did not realize how profound that was until now, and I'm so grateful for this time period and these great shows.
Sitcoms weren't the only place we saw ourselves on TV.
Action and adventure also found their heroes.
Zack, the Black Power Ranger on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, was one of the first Black superheroes that many kids saw on TV every day. And he did it with style, swagger, and smooth dance moves. Played by Walter Emmanuel Jones, Zack brought charisma and confidence to Saturday mornings, showing that a Black teen could be brave, fun, and a key part of the team saving the world.
Being a Power Rangers fan, waking up on Saturday mornings, it was an event. It was something to look forward to. It was so cool. I was in Red to Black with Walter Jones, and we played vampires. It was based off a novel. Walter Jones was the leader, and having the opportunity to work with him on one of my first films was amazing. He really does dance that much. Shout out to you, Walter. Thank you for everything that you did, letting us see ourselves as Power Rangers through you. I love you, bro. For Black kids in the 90s, TV and film gave Black kids a chance to see ourselves. In film, the stories became even more layered.
In the 90s, we saw a wave of movies that put Black youth front and center. Films like Boys in the Hood, Juice, and Menace to Society painted vivid pictures of the realities we were facing. They were raw, powerful, and unforgettable. But sometimes, we just needed to laugh, to escape, to dream. That's where movies like Good Burger came in, starring our favorite duo from Nickelodeon, Kenan and Kel. It was silly, quotable, and Black-led.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? Oh, a little bit of that, oh! Have some raspberry sorbet.
We lived for Kenan and Kel, flipping burgers and causing chaos. Then there was Men in Black. It wasn't necessarily a Black movie or even a kid's movie, but Will Smith made it feel like one.
I make this look good.
It was cool, funny, and packed with action. And for Black kids, seeing Will in that suit, cracking jokes, saving the planet, that was everything. He wasn't the sidekick, he was the hero. And for us, that meant something. Will Smith even gave us an unforgettable soundtrack with the song Men in Black. That beat dropped and suddenly we were all MIB agents in shade.
Sorry.
And don't even get us started with Cinderella. Brandy as Cinderella with braids, Whitney Houston as the fairy godmother. That wasn't just a remake, it was a cultural reset.
All the wishes in the world are poppycock and twaddle.
Who are you?
I'm your fairy godmother, honey.
For many of us, it was the first time we saw Black royalty on screen, in a story this magical. Brandy's casting challenged the legacy of exclusion in Hollywood, placing a young Black girl at the center of a narrative many had long been left out of. And Whitney, with all her power and poise, didn't just wave a wand, she passed the torch.
What's going on here?
We need your
And of course, Space Jam. Bugs Bunny and Michael Jordan in one movie? What? That was everything. We wore out that VHS like it was gospel.
Didn't you forget something?
What?
Your secret stuff.
There was something surreal about seeing Michael Jordan team up with Bugs Bunny. Every kid loved the Looney Tunes, but pairing them with MJ, that was lightning in a bottle. We already believed Mike could fly, but Space Jam made us feel like maybe we could too.
Let's play some basketball.
Yeah!
You ever meet someone who swears they saw a 90s movie where Sinbad played a genie named Shazam? Yeah, that movie never existed. But somehow, millions of us remember it like it was real. Plot, VHS cover, everything. What actually happened was, Shaquille O'Neal starred in Kazam in 1996 as a rapping genie who comes out of a boombox. But our brains, probably fried from too many Capri Suns and Saturday morning cartoons, mashed Sinbad's outfits with our childhood imaginations and invented a whole fake movie. It's one of the wildest cases of the Mandela effect. And honestly, we're still low-key mad that Shazam wasn't real.
The 90s gave Black youth a presence on screen that shaped culture and inspired generations.
But for 90s kids, music shaped our memories, our moods, and our moves. For many of us, the decade was a golden era of music. Hip-hop and R&B became more mainstream than ever. But all we knew at the time was, these were our jams. The 90s would give us unforgettable music and icons that we love to this day.
Yeah, that was Madonna featuring Babyface on backup vocals. We'll take a bow, and right here I'm with my partner right here, Aaliyah, and we're about to learn some dances.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Okay, so you step, and then you slide, and you take it back.
Aaliyah was a whole vibe, cool, mysterious, and effortlessly fly. With her baggy jeans and swoop bangs and silky vocals, she gave young Black girls a blueprint for style, swag, and quiet confidence. She just moved different, and we felt that. Aaliyah made it okay to be soft and strong, tomboy and glam, all at once. Tracks like Back and Forth, 1 in a Million, and Are You That Somebody? They defined the whole era. 90s teen girls had to get their style and swag from somewhere. And trust, the blueprint was clear. From Aaliyah's laid-back cool to the fearless confidence of Brandy, young Black girls had icons who moved with intention and dripped originality.
I'm the T-bar. I'm the leggy, left eye. I'm the and it be the shiz, and that is on the TLC tip.
TLC brought swagger, originality, and a whole new look that flipped the script on what girl groups were supposed to be. They rocked baggy clothes and talked about safe sex, and dropped anthems that made girls feel seen. Tracks like Creep and Baby 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 had the whole decade in a chokehold. When TLC dropped Waterfalls in 1995, it hit different. This wasn't just another radio single. It was a bold, emotional track that talks about real-life issues that Black communities were facing. Their music was the perfect mix of attitude, soul, and sisterhood, and we felt every bit of it. No Scrubs, Unpretty, those weren't just hits, they were messages. TLC had the game on lock, and they did it on their terms. By the mid-90s, Black teen music wasn't a trend. It was the moment. R&B and hip-hop were blending in new ways, and young artists were stepping into the spotlight with confidence and voices that felt close to home. The sound of the 90s was being shaped by stories of Black youth, and the whole world was tuning in.
I'm Donnie Simpson, and it's time now to welcome my special guest today, who just feels the music. He's native of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and this man is poised to become a star. Please welcome Usher to Video Soul. How you doing, man?
By the mid-90s, a new voice was starting to break through. Young, smooth, confident. Usher Raymond was still a teenager, but the moment he stepped into the spotlight, he owned it. Songs like Nice and Slow, You Make Me Wanna, and My Way turned him into the smooth-talking R&B king of the 90s. R&B was changing, pulling in sounds from hip-hop, and Usher slid right into that wave. He had the vocals from Church, and this cool, quiet confidence that made people stop and pay attention.
We caught up with the girls during a rare stop on their tour, Houston. It's home to Latavia, Beyonce, Kelly, and LaToya, all friends since elementary school, and now the stars of Destiny's Child.
Is this your mama's Latavia?
Just last year, these girls were going to Houston high schools and performing around town. A record company scout caught one of those performances.
She saw us perform. She flew us up to Columbia Records, and we did a showcase for everybody at Columbia, and we got signed 2.5 weeks.
Towards the end of the 90s, a new voice started to rise up from Houston, Texas. Destiny's Child hit the scene with harmonies tight enough to stop you in your tracks, and lyrics that spoke directly to young girls trying to figure it all out. They had the sound, the look, and the message. Songs about independence, heartbreak, confidence, real stuff. And at the center of it all, a young Beyonce Knowles, already showing flashes of the icon she was becoming. For Black girls, especially, Destiny's Child felt like representation we hadn't had before. Young, stylish, unapologetic, and in control. From No 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 to Bills, 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 they sang about independence, self-worth, and growing up. For girls coming up in that era, Destiny's Child was more than a group. They were an example. And they paved the way for a new generation of Black women in music.
I just remember wanting to be stylish and cool like Aaliyah, Destiny's Child, TLC. I remember even 3LW. I definitely remember when TLC did No Scrubs, and they were just so cool and so powerful. I feel like through the music, that was the first time I saw young Black women harnessing this power. You felt like you could be anything. You felt like you had something to aspire to that was powerful.
Yo, Mars Blackman here with my main man, Michael Jordan. Yo, Mike, what makes you the best player in the universe? Is it the vicious dunks?
No, Mars.
Is it the haircut?
No, Mars.
Is it the shoes?
No, Mars.
Is it the extra long shorts?
No, Mars.
It's the shoes it, right?
Nah.
Is it the short socks?
No, Mars.
Money's gotta be the shoes. 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 You sure it's not the shoes?
I'm sure, Mars.
What about the shoes?
No, Mars.
Money's gotta be the shoes.
For Black teens in the 90s, TV, music, and fashion were not separate worlds. They were all interconnected, creating a culture that celebrated creativity, individuality, and confidence.
Before TikTok fits and Instagram style grids, we had the real ones setting trends right on our TV screens. These were the flyest kids of the 90s. Let's run it down. First up, Tatiana Ali. Ashley Banks from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. From oversized hats and silky blouses and mini backpacks, Tatiana was a trendsetter. Her style grew with the show, from girly and sweet to effortlessly cool. Next, Brandy Norwood. Brandy's style defined an era. Box braids, denim sets, crop tops, and chokers, every girl wanted to look like her, and many tried. We can't forget about Kel Mitchell from Kenan and Kel and all that. He was goofy, but he was fly too. Colorful windbreakers, baggy jeans, flannels, and fresh kicks. Peak 90s cool, with a side of comedy. And let's not forget about Stacey Dash as Dion in Clueless. She gave us luxury, high fashion, and attitude, all wrapped in plaid platforms and bold hats. Dion was 90s fashion goals, and Stacey Dash played it with so much style, it became iconic.
Hi, I'm Bob Carney, and we are one-on-one with Kobe Bryant. Kobe? Unbelievable game last night against the Knicks.
They ain't playing Knicks last
Let's
night.
take a look at the highlights. Whoa! What a move!
That was a nice move, man. That wasn't me, though.
How did you get so much air? You got up there and you just had the ball and just 360 and woo! You were on fire.
Kobe Bryant in NBA Courtside. All the moves, all the action, all the NBA you can jam in a game.
Wow. Let's have a moment of silence for the defense on that one.
Kobe Bryant and NBA Courtside wasn't just a game. It was a cultural moment in Black childhood. Before the championships, before the icon status, Kobe was just a kid with a fro and a dream. And on the N64, we didn't just watch Kobe's rise, we played it too. In the 90s, Black representation in toys and video games was slowly emerging, with characters like the Black Barbie offering a glimpse of representation we hadn't seen before.
Shiny is here. Shiny, shiny. You walk, you smile. Ooh, girl, wow. You got style.
In the early 90s, Mattel introduced Shawnee, the first Black Barbie friend with Afrocentric features and fashion, marking a major step towards authentic representation in the toy aisle for Black girls.
You're everything I want to be. We've got style, you and me. Shani and her friends Asha and Nichelle each have their own special outfits, dolls each sold separately.
Mattel continued its commitment to representation by releasing the first Brandy doll in 1999.
Now Brandy's a doll. So let's get up our Sparkle's hand. Dress up real fine. Styling skirt.
This doll captured the essence of Brandy. Complete with her signature braids and stylish outfits, the Brandy doll became a cultural touchstone for Black youth.
To be honest, for a large part of my childhood, there were only white dolls and it was just like standard. And now I realize how wild that is. And full circle, I see so many children of different colors, even so many white children, and they have Black beautiful dolls and they love them. Pure joy. Thank you, 90s. The 90s, man, it was just such a fun time. It was such a safe time to be a kid. And I wish these children had the opportunity to play like we did.
Playing outside in the 90s was a colorful mix of community and creativity. We jumped into double dutch games, chalked out hopscotch grids on the sidewalk, and played tag until the streetlights came on. Riding our bikes to the corner store for 10-cent candy was a rite of passage. And our mama's voices echoed with reminders not to stray too far. The 90s will always feel like something just out of reach. Like a dream we were lucky enough to live. There was magic in those moments. The warmth of summer days, the laughter of cousins and best friends, the smell of our grandparents' homes, and the music that felt like it understood us before we even knew ourselves. We hold tight to those fragments of joy, of innocence, of days when time seemed to move slower and love felt endless. No, the 90s weren't perfect, and neither were our childhoods. But somehow they gave us everything we needed to survive in this world. And what lingers the most is that quiet truth that some of the people that made those memories so special aren't with us in the same way anymore. Some we've lost, and some we've simply drifted away from as life carried us down different paths. But for one fleeting moment, we were all there, together. Laughing, running, dreaming. So maybe the most beautiful kind of forever is the kind that only lives in memory. Thank you, 90s.
The decade allowed Black kids to see our lives reflected, our voices amplified, and our dreams validated. The 90s were a time of discovery, innocence, and creativity. Black youth explored who they were and expressed themselves in ways that left an undeniable mark on the culture. Our stories carried a sense of pride and possibility that still resonates today. I'm Ciera Foster, and thank you for tuning in to this episode of Black in the 90s.